where you can tell hands-on it's a little dated, but you can also still enjoy it as it is and see the countless ways in which it was able to inspire other titles in a similar oeuvre. I approve. There we go. That's it. Oh, so Seth, if you had to, or when you rejoin us, if you had to rate the game, what would you give it?
I would give it 8.5 out of 10.
That's where I'd be, 8 to 8.5.
I feel like it would be a straight 10 out of 10 if it was developed in the last 10 years, maybe.
How did the end game go?
Very smooth, very simple. We just beat down Shaft, and then there was a one-phase Dracula boss against a sentient Giger-esque throne that Dracula had conjured for himself. It was visually very impressive. It made good use of depth. Hermes says it is a gem after all. Yeah. There's a reason people love it.
Definitely. I really think that all the negatives that I had about the game are the negatives that would have been polished just with time. So as I said, if it was developed in the last 10 years, I feel like it would be a straight 10 out of 10.
Now then,
okay,
let's show you what happens when you take the advantage of time and lessons learned and apply it to the genre.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
Hermes says the game was rushed. Oh, I know.
Yeah, I heard about that as well. Considering it was rushed, the game that was rushed 24 years ago is Symphony of the Night, a gem. The game that was rushed a year ago is Cyberpunk. Just saying.
Yeah, it really does give you perspective. I'll say, not my favorite Castlevania, not my favorite game, but very, very good and very, very influential.
Okay, first question. Can you hear the audio from Hollow Knight?
Okay, let me pop on over to Twitch and see. Yep.
And
we got it.
Maybe I should just make it a little bit more quiet because I hear it pretty loudly.
No, it's Hollow Knight first playthrough now? No.
So it's not the first playthrough. I already played it on PC, so I finished it. I did not play any of the DLCs though, so this is going to be my first encounter with DLCs. And also the goal would be to actually get 100% at this game. Not 115% or whatever it is. I just want the exploration to be absolutely complete, and I want to get that arena Colosseum thing. There is one achievement for beating the entire game with no death, I think. And I'm not gonna do that. No way in hell.
I'm sorry, Seth. Did you say you want to do the arena from the DLC?
Yes.
Are you sure about that?
Does that include the Pantheon of Hollow Nest, the 5th challenge? Every single boss in the game in a row?
Yeah, I was thinking of giving it a shot. Maybe one stream.
Let's do it!
So, we'll see.
Hell yeah!
Okay, I did play this for 1 hour, so I'm gonna clear the save because I have no idea where I am, what did I do, so we're gonna start from a clean slate.
Oh man, this game is beautiful.
It is. Feel free to read it.
In wilds beyond, they speak your name with reverence and regret, for none could tame our savage souls, yet you the challenge met. Under palest watch, you taught, we changed, based instincts were redeemed. A world you gave to bug and beast, as they had never dreamed. From Elegy for Hollow Nest by Monomon. Hermes Belmont says, I've watched this game, I think it takes too much skill, actually.
Oh, really?
So take it from somebody who's not all that skilled at video games, myself. It's challenging at times, but it doesn't feel like it was designed with challenge as its intent, right? It's not like some of the poorer Souls-likes you would see that are hard just for the sake of being hard. And a lot of times, it's actually due to a combination of the resources given to the player and the atmosphere of the world, actually a very stress-relieving kind of meditative experience, or at least it was for me. Now, the DLC attracted some criticism, some that I would say is fairly well-deserved, by introducing a lot of really cool new boss fights and things, but also by making them really, really difficult to cater to players who, of course, because this is just the thing in a post-Dark Souls world, loved the game but felt like its skill ceiling was too low and wanted even more challenge.
Yeah, the get good generation.
Now, to be fair, some of those super challenging optional bosses were intended for the main game and they just couldn't be incorporated by release. Like, they would have been, late or post-game stuff, so it makes sense that they'd be added later.
I forgot how good this game feels in your hand. Like,
Also,
with
you were-
Castlevania, I had a little bit of input delay. I think it was probably because of the emulation, not because of the game itself. But this one is just like, so smooth.
You were just the bestest little boy in this game too. I love the avatar design.
I am so cute. Look at me. I'm gonna shave everyone. Save, not shave. I'm gonna save everyone.
Are you going to get the optional talisman? It's in this.
I'm
starting
gonna.
area?
Yes, if I remember where it is.
It's not around here, I think. It's technically to the right of that wall there, but I think you have to access it from the other way, the other side.
Well, I'm
if you
first
look around
gonna
enough, you should be able to find it.
Yeah, I'm gonna first start casually, and then as we approach the end of the game, gonna return for.
Understood.
Yeah.
Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Your great strength marks you amongst us. Focus your soul, and you shall achieve feats of which others can only dream.
Okay, so healing. There we go.
I love the fact that you heal yourself using a resource gleaned by attacking enemies. It feels like a more natural take on the kind of incentivization of aggression that Bloodborne was going for. Like, if you want that resource, you're gonna have to beat it out of enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
Of all games, Hellpoint did something similar.
Yeah.
Get it.
I know he's running. Oh, got it.
There you go. And then there was that little cavern you opened up. I totally forget what's in there, if anything. This game is laden with so many secrets, and it always feels super satisfying to discover new ones.
Yeah. Ooh, geodes.
I want to say, Seth, would I be correct in saying a majority of the game's bosses, especially when we factor in DLC, are totally optional?
Yes.
That's
I would say so as
cool.
well. Yeah.
A cornerstone of the indie team behind this game's design philosophy was creating a world that just felt rife with opportunities for exploration and for wonder, that did not necessarily expect or try to force the player to encounter everything just by progressing along a single path. Like, they were totally okay with, unlike a lot of other dev teams would be, players never encountering certain things over the course of their game.
By the way, for everyone that's interested, in my free time, I'm actually crocheting the characters from Hollow Knight. So we have here one little Zote.
Oh, so
he even
cute.
has a small sword on the back. And
but a
we
big
have,
ego.
Yes, we have a grub. Yeah, and also, of course, Hollow Knight and Hornet. Just I don't have one on hand. This is part of its head.
All available on Seth's Etsy store, which you can find a link to in the chat.
Part of the horn, yeah. And Hornet is in the other room, and she's like this big. I went a little bit overboard.
No such thing. Higher beings, these words are for you alone. Beyond this point, you enter the land of King and Creator. Step across this threshold and obey our laws.
Okay.
Bear witness to the last and only civilization, the Eternal Kingdom, Hallownest. They're a little full of themselves, aren't they?
Open. Open, sesame. I mean, I did not wish to, like, detonate it, but that's fine.
Yeah, it seems like the last and only civilization couldn't handle civil engineering worth a damn.
Eh. Eh. Dirt mouse. It's kind of like Dartmouth. I'm gonna shit
Yeah, I think
here.
it's meant to be pronounced Dirtmouth. Oh there, traveler. I'm afraid there's only me left to offer welcome. The town's fallen quiet, you see. The other residents, they've all disappeared. Headed down that well, one by one, into the caverns below. Used to be there was a great kingdom beneath our town. It's long fallen to ruin, yet it still draws folks into its depths. Wealth, glory, enlightenment. The darkness seems to promise all things. I'm sure you too seek your dreams down there. Well, just watch out. It's a sickly air that fills the place. Creatures turn mad, and travelers are robbed of their memories. Perhaps dreams aren't such great things after all.
That was sad. Like, I like it how he immediately just, like, dropped his head, like, down, like, oh.
Everything fades eventually, I suppose. Feeling tired? That bench may be iron, but I assure you it's quite comfortable. There's no better place to collect your thoughts before heading below. Plus, I enjoy the company. Not that you seem the talkative sort.
Yeah, I'm a silent protagonist. It's in my description.
For all your mapping supplies, we'll be opening soon. Zelda and Cornifer.
Oh, I love Cornifer's little tune.
Aren't a lot of protagonists quiet?
Sorry, what?
Aren't a lot of protagonists on other games all too quiet?
Fewer and fewer with time.
I think that the main goal with that is that the player can kind of project themselves onto their character, so that the creators don't kind of enforce their own vision of the character.
To which I say, bullshit! That's what dialogue options and branching character relationship paths are made for.
Yes, in RPGs.
No game has handled character definition and interrelation as well, certainly within the AAA space, I've ever seen, as Dragon Age 2.
Oh, yes.
A game that gets a lot of flack, not all of it deserved, but had and reuse of assets for dungeons. But I mean, I'm pretty sure that's something that Dragon Age 1 did too, to a lesser extent. Dragon Age 2 had such a great cast, and the way they develop and relate with one another is just amazing.
Oh, poor guy crying.
I always feel so bad for the Qunari, though.
Yeah. They're kind of like I would say the leaders of like different thinking, just different way of life, and they're being like just rejected.
And it's heavily implied that their society is actually way more tolerant than those you encounter in the Dragon Age series. Like, this is something we'll talk about when I inevitably stream a Dragon Age game, because the Qunari and, like, their world building fascinate me. But, they're criticized by, like, the Christian analogs in Dragon Age. The Qunari follow the Qun, a certain religious code. That is apparently very, very strict.
Yeah.
For being overly restrictive and oppressive of their people. Like, if somebody is thought to fill a certain societal role, a farmer, a politician, a baker, so on, that is literally all they're taught to do and all they can do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to go too much into politics, but I kind of feel like they were insinuating that Qunari towards everyone else in Ferelden were kind of like Islam towards Christianity.
Yes, no, that's the clear allegory, or like the kind of cultural and aesthetic niche they're made to fill, even though they are very different. Unlike, say, the Chantry, with its symbolism and its hierarchy, its culture, is clearly meant to be like the Roman Christian Church, right down to the Great Schism between the Empire, and the Imperial Chantry, and then the quote-unquote Reformed Chantry of Ferelden and Orlais, like the Catholic and Orthodox churches. The Qunari incorporate elements from like North Africa, Polynesia, I think some very light motifs from India and Native America. Like, they get stuff from all over the place.
Yeah.
But anyhow, the interesting bit about the society to me that gets explored in Dragon Age Inquisition, which is not the best game in the world, but does have some good world building, is that, well, yeah, the Qunari have this really restrictive way of defining people, but it's way more malleable than you think. For instance, women can't be soldiers in Qunari societies. But if a woman, a self-identifying woman, were to take up arms and serve in the military, she wouldn't be a woman, she'd be a soldier who happened to be female.
Yes.
Likewise, they treat their mages, who are an oppressed class in Dragon Age across the board, worse than anyone else in the entire setting, which is really saying something. But the implication is, if the Qunari like you, or if you're useful to their society and you have magical powers, that doesn't necessarily make you a mage in their eyes.
Yeah.
Like, they're way more tolerant and kind-hearted than a lot of outsiders think, which is at the core of a storyline in Dragon Age 2 that's handled really, really well and with a lot of surprising depth until its resolution. Like, you can try throughout the entire game to be like peacemakers with and advocates for the Qunari, gain the respect of their leader, and actually help them deal with this very, very obstructionist political system they're having to like correspond with. And no matter what happens, the Qunari are made out to be the bad guys. Ultimately.
Yeah. It's like the game is forcing you to be against the Qunari no matter what happens.
The game does something very similar if you choose to support the setting's extremely oppressed, borderline endangered mages.
Yes. It seems like the game itself already decided who are the good guys and who are the bad guys, and it's trying to force you into that direction.
Well, Dragon Age 2 does something I hated in Bioshock Infinite, and is the reason why I completely checked out of Infinite's plot for like the last act. So, Bioshock Infinite takes place in a society heavily influenced by American religious fundamentalism and ultranationalism, right? So it's a super racist, super oppressive society where a very small portion of the population benefits from extant policies, and the overwhelming majority of people do not. And they're taught that that is meet and right, and that is what both God and the founders would have wanted. And there is a rebellion movement that's led by a very charismatic African-American woman who is effectively enslaved, or was enslaved, in the city. That like gathers up this coalition of down-on-their-luck workers and people of color and women, and they launch this massive insurrection against the totalitarian state of the founders. Near the end of the game's second act, I think, Seth, right after you see this horrible, essentially sweatshop run by the city's most popular industrialist, Mr. Fink.
Yeah.
And the problem is, the way the game handles its signaling, like its narrative, the way they want you to feel, they want you to feel and take great pains to make you feel as if the, like, tortured, actual, like, slaves rising up against the people who mistreated and tortured them for so long are just as bad as the people who mistreated and tortured them for so long.
Yeah.
And they try to hand wave it in the DLC by saying, no, that's not really what the game was about, but it was.
Yeah,
it was a way to say something without saying something.
Kind of. I think that that it came out like that as an accident, not on purpose, but it was very clumsily,
Dragon Age 2 doesn't do something with such a clear allegory to our circumstances, but you do get to see a situation where mages are being mistreated more thoroughly than anywhere else in the entire series, and you can side with them. It's kind of presented as the good thing to do, quote
Yeah.
unquote, unless you have certain values as expressed through your character. Because the leader of the anti-mage coalition, like the Templar Knights, is extreme even by her faction standards, and most of them don't side with her.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, if you keep playing, you are gonna understand why he's like that. And if I understood correctly, the entire story of Dragon Age 2, he is meant to be the villain there. No matter what you do, he's always
She's
going to be
driven
the villain.
insane. Yes, even if you side with the Templars, she still
Yes.
serves as the final boss because she's so far gone. She sees
Yeah.
one of her closest allies at that point as an existential threat to
Yeah.
safety.
So she's Billie Eyelash.
Oh, hello, Val. I mean, Val.
It's Knight Commander Meredith Stannard.
Yeah, yeah.
The problem is, if you side with the mages and do everything right to help these poor, overwhelmingly young people who are essentially threatened with lobotomization or execution if they don't essentially either hide their magic or use it in service of the Templars, the leader of the mages, who was designed visually to resemble like a classic Disney Renaissance villain, to obscure the fact that he's a really nice guy who has everybody's best interests at heart, contrasted with the conventionally heroic design of the Knight Commander, uses horrific, sacrificially fueled blood magic to transform himself into a ravening beast, and you have to fight and kill him anyway. And the dev team explained this. Get this now. Totally throwing or trying to subvert the messaging they've been using the whole game, because they wanted another cool climactic boss fight. That's
Brilliant.
it.
That's how that works.
There was no plot justification. They weren't interested in one. Fortunately, mages and mage issues are handled much better throughout the plots of the other two games.
Oh yeah, I think that the third game really, I don't know, really put the entire series like in a good direction. I don't know when we're gonna get the fourth game, but I was really excited to see where the thing is going, because the first one was great, you know, but quite a lot of people, me included, kind of lost faith after the second one, because it was okay. It was just not up to Dragon Age standards, you know. At that point, we all had like huge expectations, and it was like, you know, just like barely there.
See, I thought the gameplay was the worst in the first game. The overall package is probably the sloppiest in the second, but I think the second has the best character writing, far and away. And the third game just suffers from like trying to be this ridiculous open world Ubisoft style sandbox with all of its areas and not focusing on its characters and quest lines, all of which are still really good when you actually get to get around to them. I guess I would just like something a bit more focused and a bit more purposeful for Dragon Age 4, because part of what always made BioWare's approach kind of special to me, I think back to a game like Mass Effect 2, right? Every single area you enter, you explore, has been carefully designed and curated from the ground up to fulfill a certain aesthetic and narrative purpose. Like, you were there for a reason in the story. You're there to interact with certain characters, fight certain enemies, interact with certain environments and sites that distinguish it in the game's overall lore from everything else they've designed. That's why to this day I can remember almost every stage in Mass Effect 2 off the top of my head and what you did there, because they were all made to feel very different and fulfill different purposes. I don't like the fact of, or the notion of these huge empty sandboxes they introduced in Inquisition and Mass Effect Andromeda that are designed, like in Ubisoft games, largely just to occupy a player's time without having to curate, you know, specially designed characters and quest lines and encounters for them. Just let them loose.
One thing, though, that I really liked in Inquisition is building your own castle.
Yes,
and city. That was like basically a side game, right? But it was really neat. Really refreshing.
Okay, so what aesthetic did you use for your throne room?
Kunari. Went all Kunari style.
Right on. I alternated between Canary, Chantry, and probably my personal favorite is Teventer stuff.
Oh, I also used Orlais.
Oh, yes. Oh, the Orlesians are horrible, but they have awesome sense of style.
Definitely.
A couple of games
give you
that
an
I
idea-
can't wait for.
Oh, what's that?
Just a couple of games that I can't wait for. That are probably going to be dropping early next year, or maybe later next year. One called Project Awakening, which has been in development for about 6 years, if I recall correctly. But the main reason it's taking so long is that they're actually developing an operating system to run it. So the
Oh, good
lead
lord.
the lead designer wanted to have complete and absolute control
Motherfucker.
over the engine that he is developing the game with, just so that he can make the game function the exact way he wants.
Okay.
That's basically how game development worked in the olden days, because there were not that many engines and most of them did not do
Yeah.
what people wanted. So
And I mean, it's a little bit like Valve's proprietary software.
Yeah.
They make games based around their engine.
exactly.
And they updated their engine specifically for Half-Life Alyx. Which is why the Source 2 engine was in development for so long. But Project Awakening definitely looks really promising. It's by
Side games, it says.
which is,
yeah.
if I recall
Anything they did?
correctly, I think they did the. I can't remember.
Grand Blue
exactly.
Fantasy, it says.
Yeah, the Grand Blue Fantasies.
Then like a bunch of mobile games.
Yeah. So this
Okay,
is their
let's
first
see.
foray into photoreal, like photorealistic graphics, etc., and lighting. But they're apparently trying to do it right and trying to do it, the way that they want to have it done. There hasn't been. There's been a bit of a dead zone since about 2018, but there was a statement released, I think earlier this year, that they were still working on it and still tweaking it just to make it look and play how they want it to.
Alrighty.
And then the second game that I'm kind of anticipating is called Arise of Awakener,
Okay.
which
There's a
is
lot of
kind of
Arising
like-
and Awakening in the last year or so.
Yeah, wow, crazy. It's kind of the spiritual successor to Dragon's Dogma.
Ooh,
Okay.
nice.
If anybody's played that one,
Yeah.
absolutely one of my favorite games. Sincerely, I think it's underrated.
Is that made by Capcom?
No, I think so too.
Made by
Yeah, I think it
Capcom, yeah,
was.
it's basically Dark Souls meets Monster Hunter
Yeah. I
With the
remember. I
traditional
think I have
class-based-
it.
RPG system.
The
They did
only
release it on Switch, if I recall.
Yes, they did recently, I think, or half a year ago or so.
Yeah, about a year ago.
The only issue I took with it, and this is my complaint for a lot of fantasy RPGs, and it seems to be more common now than it was in the past couple generations. It played fantastically and introduced a lot of really cool combat systems and ways that like the environment could interact with characters and
Yeah, one of
weapons
my
and all
favorite
that.
things.
But God, it's something I wish developers would stop doing so gladly. Just the most generic fantasy, like high fantasy world, played totally straight. Like
Which-
going into this world, you know almost everything you're gonna see and exactly what it's all gonna look like.
Yeah,
Which is
just
fair.
no imagination. It's mostly just taken from old folklore.
Which, to be entirely fair, is kind of what The Witcher did.
Yeah,
Witcher did something similar, but it used folklore from a part of the world and interpretations of folklore from a part of the world that
Yeah,
audiences of mass
subverted
media were less
expectations.
familiar with.
yeah.
This just took straight from, high fantasy dragons, wizards.
It was straight up
Your
Dungeons
standard-
and Dragons.
Yeah,
Without-
your standard Dungeons and Dragons / Knights of the Round Table, King Arthur bullshit.
Like one of the first things you do in the game, at least if you're trying to level up your poor, pathetic character is dive down a well and fight Sahuagin. There
Look
you
at
go.
him.
First
I
boss
feel
is
so
down, and
sorry for him. So cute.
the second is just a stone's throw away.
Isn't his maze gonna get up and crawl away?
Yes.
Yeah, bye.
There it is. Champion.
The real MVP. He was the boss all along. eh. Eh.
We'll see him in the second game.
Eh. You look like you can be a hidden room. Nope. Okay, never mind. Eh.
Right now, I'm just more than anything else looking forward to getting through Remnant and then playing the sequel prequel.
The sequel
enough.
prequel. I think that another series that I'm gonna do after things that I already have in plan is going to be Bioshock.
But Brady,
good.
will you play the sequel on hard or in normal?
Oh, I'm going to be playing it solo most likely, and I'm going to be playing it on normal. I am quite convinced that going in my first time, I should not have let people convince me to play on hard. No. Not that it's unbearable. It's really not. It's just it feels like
It
well, you might
makes
be able
it
to
more of
provide
a
some addition.
slog.
No. It scales the enemies and standard zones perfectly, like to give you a challenge that doesn't feel overwhelming but feels really
But the
satisfying and all that.
bosses-
Bosses are overtuned. What I've
The
heard from a lot of
bosses.
people, like checking around online, is some of the bosses, conversely, seem just a little too easy on normal, but they receive far more of an enhancement as you scale the difficulty up than enemies do, regular enemies. Does that sound correct?
Sounds about right, yeah.
Like the Veer troopers, for instance, probably wouldn't be much easier on normal, but Claviger probably would.
Especially since he has a phase where he I say phase. He has a move where he kind of relies on his ads to be doing additional work and
Yes.
taking some of the damage off of him. But if the ads go down super easily by playing on normal, well,
Well, then you're getting your particle accelerator.
yeah, you're getting your particle accelerator real quick. But yes,
think
Arise of
we're-
Awakener, if I may just jump back into it for
Oh, yeah,
a
no,
brief
go
moment.
right ahead.
It seems to have a lot more of a crafting system, more of a gathering system, and overall a much more fleshed out passive gameplay, or I guess a passive gameplay department.
Almost like an offline MMO. When you
A little
Mhm.
bit, but it is multiplayer, which is
Okay.
probably what I'm most excited about. Because the thing that disappointed me most about Dragon's Dogma is the lack of peer-to-peer connection.
Mm-hmm.
Because while yes, you can connect to people theoretically,
You shouldn't.
the connection is only for a NPC companion that you create.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you get to see people's random ass creations or waifus. And that's about it. You can't actually get online with other players.
Mm.
Which
Now,
was
oftentimes,
disappointing
yeah,
beyond
you
measure.
you get to assemble a party made of these. They're called pawns for anybody in the audience who's familiar. That are frankly fairly intelligent NPC characters that can fill a variety of roles to help round out your party because you have to start the game picking a particular class, right?
Yeah.
And there's like you have to choose early on like one pawn that you create like in the character creator from the ground up. Here's this person's name, here's what they do, here's their abilities and all of this.
Here's
and
their
they're kind of
weight
your
scale, their height, so on and so forth, which
Their boob size.
height and weight actually affect their carry capacity, run speed, and jump height.
So
Yes, they
everybody's
do.
thick.
Everybody's real thick.
If you make people thick, their carry capacity goes way up.
So I made like thick green mage, and he was able to handle
Ogres
most
have layers.
challenges. The the way the multiplayer, or I guess the connection, works, as Val said, is you will be able to upload your pawn, the pawn that you created, your custom pawn, to a server, and summon other people's custom pawns to fill niches in your party. You can also do this with plenty of pre-designed pawns that are just part of the game, or totally randomly designed ones.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to die, often.
If you want
And
to
painfully.
get shafted completely and forever.
Usually, the pawn you design will be just fine. Some of the pre-designed pawns will be okay, but some of them will be god-awful.
Yep. It's just a matter of looking through the skills and their predispositions.
One
How
thing I
they
do
fight,
really
how
like...
they interact.
One thing I do really like is that NPCs, especially those who can engage in combat, were given an insane amount of circumstantial dialogue, so that they will, for instance, call out enemies' locations to
It's
you.
weak
or-
to fire!
Right, but they'll only point out an enemy's attributes after their own attacks discover them to be present, which is
Or
really
if the
cool.
player character attacks something, the character's own pawn will be clued in.
Yes.
Additionally, if they find out knowledge while they're out in another player's world, they will actually return with that knowledge and teach you how to fight stuff that you may not know how to fight yet.
Yes,
Oh, that's
it's
actually
super
nice.
cool. But I will
Yeah,
tell you,
it's
the
all really
answer
cool.
90% of the time is fire.
Yeah. 'Tis weak to fire. You'll hear that, high 80% of the time.
You will also hear party members excitedly and repeatedly telling you the location of an enemy you're all locked onto and facing. It happens. It does happen.
Yeah.
It's a weird game, though, because you start out you're able to take down Sahwagan and goblins, and I think a Cyclops early on, all pretty damn easily.
Mhm.
And the
And then it
first
throws a chimera at you.
the first mobs
Hydra.
you're liable to run into that are just going to waste you because they're significantly higher level than anything else in the little starting area are just a handful of human bandits.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, the
I
bandits are
remember
awful.
that. Yeah, I
no
remember
special
that.
armor, no special abilities, no nothing. They're just much higher level than you are.
Yeah, you're
Your
kind
best
of meant
bet-
to not fight them.
Your best bet is to just throw them off of the cliff if you absolutely need to.
Yeah.
It's weird. I would say a more faithful and enjoyable transition of what D&D at the tabletop kind of is meant to feel like and simulate than, funnily enough, a game like Pathfinder Kingmaker.
Yeah.
Which is just the shits.
Which is also, even more disappointing as to why they didn't add multiplayer. It doesn't make any sense. The
Right.
party building based gameplay, they already had drop in and drop out co-op figured out from the Monster Hunter series.
Yeah.
So why you couldn't just add that in, especially for a game that is so focused on party building and having the proper number of pawns and players that each have their own thing to do. Obviously you have the tanks, which are generally great sword wielding or shielding enemies. Not enemies, allies. You have the damage dealers, obviously. The rogue type, which have bows, daggers, and then a array of special moves involving fire and stuns and all that kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
You have your mages, which not only buff your weapons with the different elements, and do so smartly. If an enemy's weak to fire, they'll buff you with fire. If an enemy's weak to ice, they'll buff you with ice, so on and so forth. If you come up against undead, they'll buff your weapon with holy. Very smartly done.
I don't know, maybe they kept out multiplayer specifically because they really wanted to highlight those systems, those AI systems, and give players a lot of experience with it so they could appreciate it, which I'm not defending as a design choice. I'm just proposing it could be the rationale. We worked so hard on this, we think it's lots of fun to play with it. We're going to
rationale just leads me to believe that they're kind of jerking themselves off too much.
Yeah.
Or they ran out of time.
Or they ran out of time. Which is the more likely option.
It was Capcom late 2000s.
Yeah. They ran out of time.
Capcom was not kind to its dev
And then,
teams during that
then
generation.
again, to be entirely fair, it was released on, if I recall, it was released on PlayStation 3 primarily.
I
yeah,
think
and
so,
then it
yeah.
was re-released as the Dark Arisen edition with the
Yes.
DLC. Kind of.
But they didn't really update too much.
No.
No, I think it was just basically
It
a
was
port
just
under
a
a new
DLC
name.
pack.
Yeah.
It was also famous for like forcing a character romance angle, but with whatever NPC you happen to interact with the most over the course of your adventure. So there was no
lot of
narrative
times
depth
people
to
got-
it at all.
A lot of times, people got shopkeepers.
Yes, they got shopkeepers or like a court jester or just rando town guards. And all of a sudden they're really important to the plot, even though they received no additional characterization.
Yeah.
They meant there to be something like 5 deliberate romance options, and nobody ever got any of them.
Yeah, there was Kina, and then Mercedes, and
Yeah, the knight captain, a witch, I think.
yeah, the witch's daughter from the foggy forest, whatever the hell it is.
Forest behind those shit-ass bandits, right.
Mhm. I think the Witchwood Forest they called it.
I was listening to a podcast by some very, very talented young video game critics reviewing. I say young; they're probably a couple years older than I, several years, 4 or 5 years, most of them. So, late 20s, early 30s. Reviewing the Mass
Late
Effect Legendary
20s or
Edition.
late 30s?
No, late 20s or early 30s.
Ah, okay.
Wow, I've never heard such excoriating critiques of Mass Effect's writing.
Wow, okay. Feel free to drop a link in the Discord so I can check it out later.
No. It was really good assessing it from one particular perspective, but I've never heard people say essentially Commander Shepard is a racist no matter how you play them.
I don't think I've played enough Mass Effect to make the judgment.
I haven't played any Mass Effect.
I've played it a little bit.
Here's a brief explanation. No, they aren't. Yes, you can absolutely play them as like a ruthless xenophobe, but that's called the Renegade Path. If you play the Paragon Path,
Renegade
you
for
are
life.
like literal space Jesus.
Space Jesus.
You love everyone, everyone loves you. You record a number of contradictory and potentially ethically unfeasible endorsements for stores on the Citadel. In exchange for discounts, of course.
Oh, of course, yeah. So you're basically a capitalist, Jesus.
No. Like, it's great. In the second game, on the Citadel, which is like one of the main hubs present throughout the entire trilogy, your character is already well known as either a hero or at least a notable figure in galactic history. Especially since, let's just say people weren't expecting to see you on the Citadel for ever after the events of the first game. And so you can talk with the various shopkeepers on like this commercial floor and ask for discounts for people either of your rank or for this, that, or the third thing as a totally morally neutral option. And they'll be like, oh, sure, yeah, I can go ahead and give you my employee discount. It's like, 5-10% off. In exchange, maybe for you, like, recording an endorsement or an advertisement for the shop, you're like, yeah, sure. So every single time, your character will say, I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Yeah, that's why there is that Commander Shepard guy on Steam that does reviews.
Drink cactus juice.
Now, hold
It'll
on.
quench ya.
There is absolutely nothing preventing you and no consequences for endorsing every single store on the Citadel as your favorite.
Exactly, yeah.
And you can actually have it, because they will play those advertisements randomly over like the store's PAs after you record them. You could be walking down the promenade in in the commercial district and hear blaring from like 3 different shops at once, overlapping. I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Commander Shepard is a big
and
ass
I
hoe.
approve this message.
I'm Commander Shepard, and I'm lying my ass off.
Yeah,
I'm
I mean
Commander
that's basically
Shepard, and I'm a whore for discounts.
whoever is running the Commander Shepard account on Steam is doing the same thing. So since I'm following them, you know, every now and then I have
My
like
favorite
15
game on
reviews.
Steam.
Yeah, this is my favorite game on Steam, and I'm like, okay. At least that's how I'm following, you know, games that matter, because he's reviewing them all with the same sentence, but he's reviewing them.
So now you've got the context for that.
Exactly.
To be fair, those discounts can help you afford some pretty good stuff early on.
He doesn't give discounts on Steam though, so
No, maybe he gets discounts on Steam, though. That's the way it works.
Well, the peer reviewers actually get free games, sometimes even before they launch.
Yep. Somebody
I want
offered
some
me
discounts.
a free copy of their game in development once.
Really? Which one?
I wasn't able. Oh, I don't know. I wasn't able to do anything with it because I didn't exactly figure out how to do streaming with my PC from my PC at that time.
I got the free copy of Control. Somebody from 505 contacted me and gave me a copy.
Right, Steph?
Yeah, it was really nice. Okay,
I just got
cool.
it from Humble.
It's a really damn good game. If you haven't played it yet, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, I need to get around to it at some point. It's based on, in part, one of my favorite fictional universes.
It just reminds me of Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Really?
I mean, telekinetic power fantasy.
Well, I was thinking
if you play on easy mode, of course.
It's heavily based on the SCP Foundation,
Mm-hmm.
which needs some decent video games based on it.
Mm-hmm.
Since they all take place in
Typical.
Source 95 engine.
Containment
let's see
Breach
what
was not bad, but it was very much a product of its time.
Yeah. Oh, Beppo farted.
What a legend.
Oh
There,
no.
there you go, Seth. Get like you gotta get like Nikocado. That's how you overcome all adversities. You just gotta hit those
Wow.
right tones. There you go.
Thanks,
Now,
Val.
like, eat 6 burgers.
Boy, I can barely finish one.
Right?
Oh. I would
16
say, what do
Leo
I
has
feed
a-
him? But oof, I know what I feed him.
16 Leo has a great video out on the more recent Nikocado saga.
Oh, I have to see it. Yeah, I saw the notification. I just forgot to check it out.
He's very gentle and very diplomatic, which I really, really respect.
I mean, for a
He
comedian.
genuinely has like a lot of love for many of the people he covers, even if he's making fun of them, which I think is so refreshing on YouTube.
With all the drama channels that exist.
The poor man sat and recorded himself watching 4 straight hours of Nikocado Avocado. I usually just skim through the videos at lightning speed to be like, okay, did we break anything this time? Did we throw food around the room? Did we poop ourselves? No? Alright, this is boring.
It's like watching a nursing home video recording.
No, I was going to be like, it's like watching a baby, but like kaiju size.
Kaiju sized baby. With big ass
Suppose
poops.
it has the same appeal as Honey Boo Boo.
Oh no. I hate Honey Boo Boo. Like that thing was triggering me so badly when it first started coming out. Like I don't think I've
And to
ever
clarify,
felt
you mean
such.
You hate
What?
the show, not the
No.
not the kid.
I hate the kid and the kid's mom and the show. Like
okay.
everything
Yeah, yeah.
together.
Mama
like,
June's kind of garbage.
Yeah, I have never ever felt so much hatred and rage and like a fit of wanting to
Yeah.
do violence against a child.
Oh, that's not what I was getting at. I thought you meant like you found out that Mama June like apparently got back with someone who had some very serious allegations against
Well,
them.
that as well. I mean, but that's just outright disgusting. But like, you know, I generally don't like children. I've never been hiding the fact I don't like children. But you know, I can tolerate them. What I don't like is spoiled children. So when I was watching Honey Boo Boo, I was
ever
just
come
like,
to America.
oh,
Don't ever come to America.
yeah. I was
For the
just
love of
like,
God,
I
don't ever come
cannot,
to America.
I cannot handle this. This is just like, oof. That's what I would never be able to work anywhere with children. It's not even because of children themselves, but because of entitled parents.
Yeah,
You know-
the parents are usually the problem.
I mean, it's always the parents, right? The kid is not spoiled on its own. The kid is
Which
not
means we should be
bad
teaching
mannered on
kids
its
to
own.
parent.
Yes, brilliant. So it's always the parents in the background, right? Without a doubt. But Jesus Christ, Honey Boo Boo was just an extreme.
Poor kid, right?
Yeah. I mean, she was basically constantly in a sugar rush, right? Because of that boo boo juice, honey juice, whatever, how the fuck she called it.
Go-go juice. I
Go
think.
go juice, that thing. That was just pure sugar.
Sugar
So that kid was probably just high all the time.
Oh man, get Nico some of that.
just hyped up on endless amounts of sugar.
Yeah.
Well, it's
So
better than
basically the
breaking
kid
your
would
ribs
be-
from coughing, pooping on the floor, and then eating 17 Happy Meals.
Yeah, basically the kid would be like high on sugar all the time, and then afterwards would throw a fit when it would crash. So it was
Wait, I think
absolutely
there's something down there.
yeah, I think
There's
it was
something to the
close
right
though.
down there. Yeah.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
This is Gruge
Second.
Mother.
Thank you for leading me to the second boss when I did not want to go yet.
It's meant to be the first boss. It's super easy. Don't worry.
Oh,
It's super easy, don't worry.
No, this is about all it does.
It's super easy, don't worry.
oopsie.
There you go. Not
Whoops.
quite, but largely done.
Oh yeah,
Oops.
I remember.
Oh, this is so gross.
No. Stay away from me, Satan.
Ugh.
I mean,
There's a
isn't that how
rumbling in my
spiders
tummy that only
function?
human
They're
hands can
babies.
satisfy.
Bruh. Disgusting.
Look at like the
Okay.
hollowed out
Baby.
husk back there.
Yeah, it can stay over there. Do svidania.
Oh, there was something on the other side though. There's a reason we beat down Gruge Mother, and it was to get through that chamber. Remember? This opens up a couple gates.
Oopsie.
Give me just a moment. I had some groceries delivered, so I'm gonna go bring them in. But first, I'm gonna have to stand up. Oh!
Oh no.
Standing
Oh
up,
god.
The hardest part of our day.
Yeah, I know, right? Old village, la la la, Sly. Yes, go back to Dirtmouth. Dirtmouth. Yeah, go. He's suddenly not stinky anymore now that I have talked to him. Interesting.
Give him a stern talking to. And he stops farting.
Oh, that bell ring is annoying as hell. I hope that Brady doesn't get too many visitors. Oh, I can't jump there without a double jump, right? Nope. Okay. Okie dokie artichoke, let's keep on going. Eh.
Sorry about that.
Is that your doorbell?
No, it's my security system sensor
Ah.
that detects doors been open. Let
Okay.
me just go off mic for a moment so it doesn't disturb
Yeah.
you.
No worries.
Ruined.
Ba-da-da-dum. Eh. I need a ticket. Eh. Just die. Give me money.
Money. I'll
Money.
be right back.
Okie dokie. There's another coin here.
Money, like Kingdom Hearts money.
Mooney. Yes.
Munny. Perfect.
Yeah. Mooney.
Toodles.
Damn it! I've fallen and I can't get up. Eh. 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 Okay, where are we? What is this? Who is this? Who are you? Who am I? Ooh, spikes. Oh no, little grubby boy. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get further down the line a lot more mobility options, so this is gonna be easy peasy, but not now. Fucking bullshit piece of shit, motherfucker. Anywho, this as I was saying. Flying around is gonna be much easier down the line. Destroy this. You know what? Fuck you. Kamehameha. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing, Potato?
Oh, I'm so fucking tired and in pain.
Aw, that's nice. I mean, aw.
Actually, it's not like a bad kind of pain. It's the good kind.
Yeah.
I think. Or maybe I have brain damage. I get smacked on the head a couple of times.
Yeah, happens.
I had a helmet, but it's still like a.
Oh, a helmet.
Yeah, but you know, you get smacked on the head and you get a dose of what I like to call tinnitus simulator.
What?
You know what tinnitus is?
Yes.
Yeah,
When it
exactly.
rings
It's
in your
just-
ears.
Yeah, it rings so much. And that was
Ring-a-ding-dings.
with the polyurethane, like plastic sword. I do not want to get hit by
A real one.
a metal one. Yeah.
Well, if it's ringing so much, perhaps you should answer it.
Oh my god.
Also, hi, welcome back to training. Sorry, I'm just gonna be putting shit in the fridge.
That was perfect.
Yep. It took me a second to realize what the hell he said.
That's common.
Yeah, fuck you and give me your money. Hollow Knight at this point is just a big ass bully. I have tinnitus. I have tinnitus too, Nick. Also, hi.
Howdy, howdy.
And why are you not speaking in caps? I cannot take you seriously. And also, I can't hear you. I have tinnitus. Just gonna kamehameha these bastards.
Sorry, Seth, I wasn't. I didn't really. I wasn't really listening. You. What do you have tonight? You said you have tinnitus.
Nick says, "Hi, I have tinnitus in my ears." Hi, Nick.
Well, it's usually it is in the ears, so I guess that's good.
It's in the right place.
If you had tinnitus
Congratulations.
in the feet, we would be concerned.
Or you know, you probably wouldn't want ringing in your ass.
I think that's called farts.
No, I was going to say that is a sign that late night experiments with lotion and cell phones went a little too far.
When you don't have a vibrator, so you use the next best thing, which is your phone. And
the clerks
suddenly
at
it was
the ER will be simultaneously judging both your choice of personal merriment and ringtone at the same time. That's an
Nice.
accomplishment. Also, that's probably one of the worst things I've ever said.
Uh, mm, 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 I need a notch, but there is no notch yet.
No.
So I'm just gonna pick up a musk shard. And
Many of the notches that aren't
Yeah?
directly correlated to, like those, acquiring enough charms to have Salubra offer them to you. I remember being, like, locked behind bosses
yeah,
in the mid to late game, too.
yeah. So let's see. Oopsie, wrong button. This is what I wanted. Just wanted to go to check out what we did not see yet here.
Nick says, sometimes in my knee.
That is scary.
Then it's Tanitas?
Tinnitus.
Well done, well done.
No, it's the you should answer it one is still the best.
Yeah, that one just got me.
Yeah.
Okay, there is something over there because the light is coming from that direction, but I cannot reach it because I do not have.
The light? Are you the light? Wait, you think there's something there?
Well, there is light coming down.
Is that an indicator of something? Because I think I might be turning up my PlayStation and going to check myself.
He says, I've heard this game is good, but I haven't played it.
It's
I have.
fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah,
It's-
it's good.
It's one of the best games, if not the best game for me in the last 10 years.
Ooh,
Like, and that's in like in category together with Witcher.
that is a high praise, Seth.
Yeah,
And then
it's
you
very
get
high.
to the. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like because this is made by like a small indie team that is actually a small indie team, not CDPR. That is like a I'm not gonna go there. Feel free to continue, Potato.
I was just gonna say it's great, and then you get to the third Hornet fight and you burn the fuck out.
Yeah, that's how Potato ended up. I didn't
Yeah,
have that
I'm
many
gonna-
issues with the third one.
The
Really?
second Hornet fight, you mean?
Yeah,
No, I think it's the third one.
You don't fight her 3 times in the main campaign. You fight her twice.
I'm pretty sure this is the third encounter with her I had.
Is it not? Did you have to fight her in Godhome yet? Like for the last DLC?
Wait a minute.
it could be that you accidentally went.
encountered her 3 times, but you only had to fight her twice. She's fought once in Greenpath and once at Kingdom's Edge.
Possibly.
Whee!
It's the one in Kingdom's Edge, anyways.
Yeah, that's really hard, isn't it?
Yeah, that one is hard. I did not have as much problem as other people did, but it was really hard. I think I just lucked out. Sometimes I spam buttons and I jump in the right second.
So, Potato, are you gonna try to platinum Hollow Knight?
I was looking at the whatchamacallit, the trophies.
The requirements, yeah.
I mean, they're like not too terrible. But I only have 21% of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, like defeat Hornet in Kingdom's Edge. Oh, look at that.
Done.
Destroy Lurian the Watcher. What else am I missing? Defeat the Hollow Knight and complete the game. Acquire all charms and receive Salubra's blessing. All masks, shards, all vessel fragments, all the imprisoned grubs.
Just a lot of completion stuff.
1800 essence, 2400 essence. Record all of the Hallownest's creatures in the Hunter's Journal. Receive the Hunter's Mark. Bring peace to the Grey Mourner. Complete the Trial of the Warrior, Trial of the Conqueror, Hidden One, Trial of the Fool, Troop Leader Grim.
Oh god,
complete
you have to
Tale
do
of
the
Grim
DLC?
Troop. Yeah.
Oh
Complete
fuck.
the Pantheon of the Night. hidden one. Give me a second. Ascend the pantheon of Hallownest and take your place at its peak.
Oh fuck. Oh shit. Oh,
1.3% of people have it.
Yeah,
Potato, you know what that is, right?
that's a very hard one. Like
It's
a very, very
gauntlet,
hard.
a straight gauntlet of every single boss in the entire game, plus DLC. Some of which are in more difficult forms than they presented with in the base game, all with more health, capped off against much harder versions of the 2 final bosses.
Fucking fantastic.
So, like,
Well,
you remember in Super Smash Brothers, you had like the All-Star mode where you'd have to fight the entire roster, and every few fights you'd be taken to like that little atoll where you could, Null, where you could kind of use consumable items and rest and see who's up next.
Okay.
You remember that, right?
Sure.
Vaguely, Seth, you remember.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I know it. I never played Smash Bros.
It's just like that.
That
It is
sounds-
hard. Let's
You'll
just
be
say
able
that it's
to
hard.
rest and replenish your resources every, like, I think 5 fights.
5
roughly,
fights, yeah.
4 or 5 fights. But you're going to be going up against some absolute monsters, including Nightmare King Grim as just a regular boss.
Yeah, and all the optionals I think are also in there.
Every single boss in the game, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
you have to complete 112% of the game.
Now, I will say, Potato, if one person here could do it, it's you.
That
I
that
can't
is
do it.
true. Yes.
And I would love for you, if you ever decide to tackle it, to stream your attempts.
Yes, please.
Seth is like, yeah, I believe in you, but she's like, yeah, suffer, bitch. I want to see you burn out.
Yes. I never said anything on the contrary. Also, who said I have faith in you? I have faith that you're gonna provide entertainment, and that's everything that I need.
No, Brady said if anyone here can do it, it's me, and you said yeah.
Fair enough. Oopsie.
You have a tenacity that many of us do not.
And tinnitus as well.
No, it. Tonight.
That's the secret.
Tenacity.
Tonight the city.
Tinnitus City. Yes. No, come back. Elevator.
Which
Fucking
reminds me, tomorrow are you good with continuing Remnant during my slot?
No.
Alright.
I kind of got invited by Pot to play the new Left 4 Dead, like the Back 4 Blood thing.
Back 4 Blood. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen it. That looks cool.
And at first I was like, I'm not sure if I want to buy it, but then I found out it's on the Xbox Game Pass.
Oh, righteous. Go for it then.
So I'm gonna give that a try because I really love the Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
liked. I think I played a bit of Left 4 Dead 2 with a friend when I was younger, and that was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Oh, Nick asks, did we manage to kill the fucking dragon in Revenant?
Oh yeah,
Remnant.
yeah.
Yeah, we did.
The
Um,
fucking dragon.
We're now near the end of the second world, and we fought. So Nick, just for context, the dragon was honestly one of the best and easiest bosses we fought so far.
Oh,
Definitely.
tell him about the scourge.
Oh
I
fuck!
hate that guy.
So a regular boss, just an enhanced version of a standard enemy, took Potato and I combined probably around 2.5 hours. across
Something
both
like that.
streams.
About that, yeah.
Scourge is a tragedy.
Again, I get the distinct impression that were I playing totally solo on normal, either of us playing solo on normal, we would just be able to breeze on through.
Yeah, no. I think
Scourge
on
is one of the
normal.
worst bosses, even on normal.
I know, but like the kind of equipment we had, I was two-shotting the the ads, so I could deal with them really easily if I could one-shot them, and I'm pretty sure on normal I can do it.
And the boss would have probably like half as much health and slower regeneration.
Oh, I mean, still it would be annoying, but I think I could do it in like half an hour.
It would be annoying, like, for instance, tinnitus, instead of annoying, like, hemorrhoids.
That's actually a pretty good analogy. But also the fact that you have to aim with the analog sticks is not like helping at all.
Excuse you, Brady. It's pronounced tinnitus.
Titties.
I've heard it both ways.
Yeah,
Tiffy
I
does.
have too as well.
I never heard
Both
of
times though, with the
titties.
ringing in the backgrounds.
The medical term is tinnitus, although the majority of the population calls it tinnitus. which is
Really?
fine.
My doctor says tinnitus.
Get a new doctor.
Yeah.
Doctor's fucking wrong!
Yeah, maybe I need a new doctor. One that doesn't suck.
One that doesn't suck and mispronounce things. Ruined.
E.
So, I get the feeling, the ergonomics of like shooters on PC being way more comfortable and like malleable for people who are accustomed to it. I'm in the minority that I've only ever really played games extensively on console, aside from like strategy titles. So I have always had an easier time with a controller in my hands. I'm terrible at shooters no matter what, but I find it slightly easier with an analog stick.
Which is perfectly fine. If you were playing on PC, you could just get a USB controller plug-in.
Yeah. I mean, technically on the PlayStation, you could buy for like 20 euros the thingamajig that you can plug in a mouse and a keyboard and it'll like
Yeah.
simulate
But
a
do you
control.
wanna?
But it's no, because it's still not like fully a mouse. It like the mouse movements simulate the analog stick, so it's still kind of weird moving.
Very iffy.
Yeah. I mean, it
It's not
gives
a
you a
one-to-one.
certain edge, but it's still super weird.
Yeah, it's not one-to-one.
Okay, so I guess that I need to go somewhere to trigger some sort of event because the path to progress is currently locked.
No, it ain't. Do you
Yeah,
remember that large shelled kind of beetle-looking thing that was blocking the way into green
Oh, that
path,
was on the far left. Yeah.
in which you can now destroy with your soul toss?
That's right. I thought that
He's
the
got
path
a
to progression was the
Havel's dragon tooth.
black area. Dark
No.
area. Eh.
Oh, one moment.
Whoa!
Bitches be calling. Okay.
Pictures
Maybe
all
you
well
got-
to calling.
Maybe
Yeah.
if he got rid of that yee ass haircut, he'd get some bitches on his dick.
Oh god, taking it back.
Bring it back to GTA 5.
Nick says
Dude.
Potato now has tinnitus.
Yeah, maybe he should pick it up.
No, we all have tinnitus since we all heard it.
Yeah.
There's also
Is it
ringing in my
collective
ears.
tinnitus?
Putting the us in tinnitus.
That is no I in tinnitus. Oh, wait, there is.
Yes,
Putting
there is.
Putting the
There's two
tiny
eyes.
and- Putting the tiny
Which is a
and
we.
Uh-huh. See? It works.
our tinnitus.
Yes.
Communism. Putting the tiny and tiny tits. Wait, what? Hold on.
Again, I will contend, still not the best sounding national anthem. And it's up there, not the best.
Still very iconic.
Yes, yes.
Because it was basically the theme of Smash Bros.
Oh my god, now that you bring it up, it does sound kind of similar, doesn't it?
Yes.
Oh lord.
There is so many jokes on the internet about it actually being the anthem. Like the theme being the anthem.
The
I have
anthem,
returned.
welcome back. The anthem of the Ottoman Empire actually sounds very similar to the Imperial March from Star Wars.
I
Oh,
wonder why.
okay.
Coincidence? I think not.
There's probably some inspiration there. Again, my favorite is still Tuva, and its incredibly bombastic horns and throat singing anthem. And to think, before they adopted it, they used a song called "The Forest is Full of Pine Nuts" as their national anthem.
Nuts. Nuts in your jaws. I mean, hold on. That ain't it.
Fucking hell. Give me.
If I was a Star Wars villain, my theme would be the Imperial Starch.
Very good.
Wow.
Very good.
A bit of a stretch, but I'll allow it.
No, a bit of a
You from
start.
a start.
Oh my god. Fucking nerds.
It's a crime that Starch and Lark don't rhyme. Excuse
Don't
me.
lime.
Lime?
They don't
I've
lime,
got
no.
Corona on the brain.
You remember in the early days of the pandemic when some poor folks actually thought that the virus was being transmitted by Corona beer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember the sales of Corona going like up and down based on what people thought Corona was made of? That was amazing.
How? Like, what? How?
Yeah, exactly. I wonder that if Elon Musk tweeted that Corona was made of Corona, how that would affect the stocks.
If there was a
Stonks.
beer that
Stonks.
would have content like toxic, terrible enough to like fuel a pandemic, we all know it'd be Budweiser.
You mean Pisswasser?
Yes.
Why'd you bring Budweiser? We already have water here. It's on tap.
Budweiser, spiced up with a bit of Alestra.
Ooh.
Ah! Too far, man. Too far.
No, that sounds
Wow.
great. Let's go to market.
Everybody
Because
always says,
you know how beer makes you piss a lot? This would make you piss a lot and shit a lot. Shit a lot at the same
Yeah,
time.
We call it Budweiser Cleanse.
everybody
it's
always
gonna
says that
absolutely-
beer makes you stupider, but I think beer makes you smarter because it made my Budweiser. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
I've seen people down like 10 of those in one sitting before. Now imagine if they
Are
were
they
laced with
wiser?
Alestra. Well, no. One of them was Drugs Bunny, so
Yeah, we all know the stories about Drugs Bunny.
he still walks among us.
Among Us.
Among Us.
That sounds kind of sus.
No, it
Fucking hate.
sounds like a drunken vehicle collision.
Yeah, sus.
I need a bench. I need a bench badly.
Green Path might just be one of my favorite areas in the game, despite being a fairly standard quote-unquote jungle biome.
Yeah, but
There
it's
you go.
pretty.
Oh,
It's very
bench.
pretty.
Mm-hmm. It is, and it's got great music.
I need Cornifer.
I don't hear any music. What's wrong with you?
It's called tinnitus.
Oh, okay. That must be it.
No, he's not hearing anything, so it's probably nanitis.
Nanites.
Nanitis.
Fucking nanomachines, son.
God.
Iconic line.
You know the sad thing
From
is,
one
if,
of them,
like
there
in
she is.
Every,
Hello.
Every single video of that fight you can find online, there's scores of people who agree with him.
Nanomachine, son.
They're like, the hardcore social Darwinist who's written to be not just objectionable, but actually insane. And there are tons of people, like libertarians of the sort, like, yeah, man, he knows what he's talking about.
Of course.
The kind of libertarians who are, I want to say, the loud minority.
Right libertarians, they would be.
Fucking piece of shit.
So conservatives.
Well, no, there are distinctions made between, like, right and left libertarians, which I don't entirely understand. I assume it's largely on social issues rather than any other issues, because when it comes to economic governance or really any other matter related to administration or societal structure, libertarians are pretty damn uniform and obstinate.
I don't have a map for this area. Okay, so that's not where
Not
we
yet.
go. I can...
You want me to tell you where to go to get the map?
No. Turn off the game, potato.
There's
No. No.
the map
No.
store.
If you said yes, I would have told you to go to Cornifer.
Wow. Thanks, Potato.
So you actually said the right answer.
God
Sadly.
fucking
That
damn.
was correct. But
I think
Potato
you're heading
didn't
in the right
first.
direction now, sir.
Yeah. The
Is
game
there
at the start
really
is
a
pretty
right
linear.
Direction?
Early on, yes, there is. The game opens up substantially after one reaches the City of Tears, but not
Yeah.
yet.
Not
I was
yet.
just being contrary.
Oh. So we should not take you seriously? Okay.
Never.
Hawkeye.
Why would you ever take me seriously?
Hawkeye.
I mean, this is a serious network, home to serious adult diarrhea talk.
Yeah, clearly.
Exactly. You can
Just
go on
like
YouTube
seemingly
if you want to
90%
listen
of
to
talk
children.
radio. That's right. Watch them play with their Fortnite and
Fortnites. And...
Roblox.
Yay,
I was
Cornifer!
told. I was
Gambling
told
V-Bucks on the
that
toy
one of-
Pomeranian races. I don't know what children do.
Them youngsters.
I guess to bring the conversation back temporarily to Super Smash Brothers, they have in Far Cry 6 they have a cockfighting minigame that is basically Super Smash Brothers.
Really?
Oh,
Or
that's
Street Fighter.
That is interesting.
Great.
Well, okay. There are a number of issues that are obviously wrong with it because very many animal rights violations there that are happening. However,
Also-
for the setting of the game, it makes sense.
Many.
Well, see that's where I was going to weigh in though. Like, okay, like they're characterizing the first like culturally Hispanic setting of the franchise as the one where like you could participate in cockfighting and all that. That's a fairly
entirely
negative
fair.
stereotype they're perpetuating. Which hey, it's
entirely
Far Cry.
fair.
That's what they do.
Yeah, to be entirely fair, they're not the first
Nope,
game
bye.
to have done it. If I recall correctly, Sleeping Dogs had roughly
Yes.
the same kind of thing where you could
Yes, it
bet
did.
on cockfights, which is again a negative cultural stereotype for Asian culture. But
Thank
then
you for
again,
your
I
journal.
also I used to work with a native Vietnamese who moved here, and he would bet on cockfights all the time, like just casually at work. If he had nothing better to do, he would just pull up his whatever application on his phone and go to town.
There
Guess
is
you
an
were willing to
application
talk.
for cockfights.
I don't know.
Well, that's certainly a new form of cock-themed application. I know there's scores of others.
This man just sent you photos of his cock. They're grating and off-putting. He just sent you more. Don't act surprised. You know you like it, you whore. See, I'm on the head of that offended CS ring.
Bo Burnham.
Your children, tell us
Yep,
every thought
sure.
you think.
Okay.
Oh, hello, Hornet. Bye, Hornet.
Ah!
Eh.
All right, my food's on the way.
Right
Oh
on.
my god, Val is gonna eat.
For the first time today at 4:05 in the afternoon.
I'll eat.
Val, eat.
Alternatively, you're welcome to just take some of the excess metabolic slack and weight from me and just like sustain yourself off of that. Like just
That sounds delicious, Brady.
Metabolic slack, my favorite meal.
well, I mean that's basically what half of Nikocato's videos are anymore.
You.
Just
Beating my
osmosis.
metabolism to death with a crowbar mukbang.
basically, yeah.
Just osmosis metabolism. You get fat just by watching.
I'm sure it feels that way for some people.
Yeah, seeing as how I could barely slog my way through the one scene in what is it, Return of the King or Two Towers, Lord of the Rings, where Denethor is doing his thing. Could be the way it's shot, edited, and composed, but it just I couldn't get through it.
I really like it that quite a lot of enemies are like using something to appear scarier than they actually are, like this tiny little bug.
Well, they're using their environment in creative ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the ones that seem harmless kind of fuck
It's a
you up.
prey instinct.
Mm-hmm. Now, pimp guards are honorable, though. They tell you exactly what they're all about as soon as they appear for the first time.
They're
They're
like,
very-
all right, we're jacked. We're gonna fuck you up.
They're
We're
jaunty.
pimpin'.
They dance their way along their patrol routes.
Yee.
Yee.
Not entirely unlike the Veer soldiers in that regard. I love that to prime their weapon, they like click their canes on the ground and twirl them around under their arms. It's unusually theatrical for what are meant to be like very serious, intimidating enemies.
Yeah.
Sev,
Wow, I can get
Yes.
crowd control points.
you were right about there being something up there where the light was.
Did you seriously turn on the game just to check that?
Yes.
Of course there
Sue
was
me.
something. There was a pillar of light, a cone of light coming down. It's like the universal language for either there is a quest or there is a hidden something.
Yeah, and this game actually telegraphs its hidden rooms and alcoves, I think, far better than a lot of other Metroidvanias do.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't telegraph them well. It's just bad at hiding them. Then again, one could argue it's not because I didn't see it.
I was about to say, all right, Dark Souls subreddit.
Fight me!
You would never
Eh.
be able to find this on your own. Such good game design.
Yeah, if you can't find it with 3 tutorials, 2 hidden subreddit posts, then it's
No.
not worth.
Yeah, no. If you don't need all of those things, and then of course proudly claim that you didn't use any of them, then it's not hard enough, brew.
Yee, bro.
Bro.
Bruh.
Bruh.
All right, but we have already passed our time for today. So,
Yeah, we have.
yeah, we have. So, thank you guys for watching. If you're interested in more of the Hollow Knight playthrough, you can join me again on Thursday. Otherwise, come tomorrow to Brady's stream. I don't know what he's gonna stream. What are you gonna stream?
It could be Pokemon, it could be something different. Who knows?
It's gonna be a surprise.
You will never.
Oh, shoot! Look at that! Yo!
It's great. And it's just like 2-click setup, so pixel chat.
The preview clip that plays is of me throwing myself off a bridge.
It's a
into
random
boss arena.
clip.
No,
Yeah,
overheated, there's a lot of things to wait for.
Yeah, it's just a random clip that's being picked every time. So this
No,
is
I was
Random,
potato.
yet somehow for me it always picks the one where
Potato
I
is
drop myself
dying.
into the water.
No,
or
that time it was you getting mauled to death by something in here. I think this generator has something against us, but I love it. I love it.
But you know
Yeah.
what the thing is? I'm like fairly certain that's not even a clip. It just took a part of me dying from a VOD.
Mm,
Oh,
Maybe.
I have a shout out now.
yes,
Wow.
everybody
Thank you
has
so
a
much.
shout out. You
And I
got a
just got
shout
the-
out. Yeah.
That was the one of me like sliding away from the crow.
Oh, the giant roosters. Yeah.
Yeah, one of the crows or
Kill a
roosters.
giant cock.
I I went to perform the finisher on it, and apparently there was something up with the geometry
Mm,
because the cock slid one way. Giggity.
I was gonna say.
The rooster slid one way, and I slid the exact opposite way. It was awesome.
Anyways, feel free to join us in our Discord if you still want to chat after the stream, and I'm gonna bid you adieu. Bye bye.
Take care
До
now.
свидания.
Bye.